We got into this hobby because we love the fish, because of the beautiful corals, for how peaceful and calm it makes us feel, how much enjoyment we get out of watching our tanks. But everything isn't always rainbows and sunshine with our tanks. In fact, there's a good handful of things that if they crop up in your tank or if you do something wrong, it can absolutely ruin your reef keeping experience and may even motivate you to get out of the hobby. So in this video, I've got 7 different things that you should keep an eye out for, pests that you might encounter or problems that you might have, and I'm also going to give you some solutions for them, so make sure you grab a pen and paper and take some notes so that you're prepared in case any of these happen to you. Hi there! Hilary here for Waterlogged on behalf of SaltwaterAquarium.com. On the off chance you might be encountering one of these pests or one of these issues, hopefully I've got a solution for you. But you should know that there's a whole community of other aquarists that are out there that might have been through the same situation that you have been, or are just out there and are very knowledgeable and have solutions for you. So please, 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 if you're encountering any of these things, don't give up. Reach out to your fellow hobbyist and let us help buoy you and keep you in the hobby and get you back on track for success in your reef tank. So the first thing that I wanted to bring up when it comes to pests that can absolutely ruin your reef keeping experience are Aptasia. Now there's actually a couple of different types of Aptasia, and hopefully I'll be able to do a video on that in the future, but no matter what kind you have, they are pesky and annoying. And oftentimes when you have one, you have a whole tank full. When you're trying to kill them, if you don't get rid of them completely, they just come back tenfold. So how do you get rid of them? Well, obviously there is the manual method. You can go in and remove them by hand. There's a whole bunch of products that are out on the market that can help you with this, but there's also some cleanup crew members that can help you with this. So things like Aptasia eating filefish are a good one. Copper band butterflies are one. Peppermint shrimp, if you get the right species, will help with that. And even things like Bergia nudibranchs will help to keep the Aptasia in your tank under control, if not completely eradicated. So if you've got an Aptasia outbreak, don't fear, there are tools to help you along the way. Okay, the second thing that you might encounter that is kind of a nuisance but not terrible are vermitted snails. Now these guys crop up along your tank, and at first you might think that they're a cool miniature little feather duster worm, but the way they work is they feed by spewing out mucus and collecting food floating through the air. Well, in this process they irritate and annoy the corals nearby, causing damage. And this is another one like that Aptasia. Once you've got one, you've got a whole bunch of them. Now there's not as many ways to remove these as, say, with the Aptasia, but you can start off by getting a whole bunch of bumblebee snails. Now these snails are small, they're able to get into the little tiny spaces where those vermitids are at and help to remove them, and they're very efficient at it. Now, if that's not moving fast enough for you, you can actually go in there and manually remove them and break them off. Just remember, be patient. It's a work in progress. Okay, the third thing on the list, and this isn't, again, as bad as some of the other ones. It's not going to destroy your tank, but they're unsightly. And if they touch your fingers, well, you might feel like you've put your hand against some fiberglass. And that is bristleworms. Now, bristleworms are part of a natural cleanup crew, so I would expect to see some in the tank. But an overabundance of them can have them irritating corals and just being a nuisance in the tank. So in order to take care of and get rid of them, there are several species of wrasses out there that will help to eat those, but you could also use things like arrow crabs, which are phenomenal at using those long, slender claws to grab those bristleworms and eradicate them from your tank. Number 4, let's talk about algae, because oh my gosh, algae can be such a pain. You can be fine one day, wake up the next morning and have a tank that is green. And a lot of times algae issues are due to an imbalance of nutrients in your water. So For those problems, I would say to do a water change. Test your water and see where it's at. Do you have high nitrates and high phosphates? Well, start with lowering those, and a lot of times that can help the problem. If you've got, say, bubble algae or valonia, you can get sometimes emerald crabs will be very helpful in removing that. Rabbit fish or fox faces are another good one that's going to help consume that and help get it out of your tank a lot faster. Just be mindful that when you're trying to remove this, as you pop those bubbles, it releases spores into the tank. So I wouldn't try popping them or removing them unless you know you can get them out easily. That's how I would do it. Other types of algae, say hair algae, there are cleanup crew members like sea hares that can help to remove that and clear out patches. Now, if you do have patches of it, sometimes it might be easy to remove a bunch of it, but again, just like that bubble algae, you don't want to disturb it too much and have little filaments floating around the tank because that could just settle and create problems elsewhere in your system. So gently does it. Try and get some cleanup crew to help you out with that. With respect to corals in your tank, there's a whole number of pests that could wipe out your coral populations in a very short period of time. Things like brown jelly disease and nudibranchs and red bugs could all cause devastation in your tank. And while there are medications that you can use to treat them, one of the best solutions to preventing that stuff in the first place is to put all new corals through a coral dip. Make sure to follow the instructions as recommended on those products to help prevent pests from being invited into your system to begin with. Another thing that I've seen in tanks that if you see one, just assume you have a whole bunch, and if you don't have them yet, blink your eyes and they'll be there. Those are the Astorina stars, the cute little tiny baby starfish. When I first saw them as a new hobbyist, I thought they were the greatest thing ever and wanted them in my tank. But as years progressed and I learned, like, no, I don't actually want those in my tank. And there's a great tool to help remove them, and that is Harlequin shrimp. They do a phenomenal job of getting rid of all of those unwanted starfish in your tank. Just keep in mind that over time, after they clear them all out, you might need to supplement their food with some other stars like a chocolate chip starfish. Now, things like film algae and cyanobacteria and even diatom blooms can be a result of water parameters that are off. So I again recommend testing your water parameters on a regular basis. Take some notes, see how those trends go, and then make adjustments to take care of that. If you still can't figure out what the issue is, I would encourage you to take it a step further and even look at the source water, because that might actually be causing some problems as well. All right, again, I'm going to remind you, if you're going through any of these issues with your tank, please reach out to some of the fellow hobbyists in this community. We all want to see each other be successful, and it's a sad day when somebody decides to leave because they're overwhelmed with a problem in the tank. Reach out, let us help you keep your aquarium going and stay in the hobby long term. All right, this has been Hilary for Waterlogged on behalf of SaltwaterAquarium.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.